There are a lot of LEGO modular fans out there, and we consider ourselves to be among them. We've been pretty lucky over the last few years because LEGO has not only given us the annual modular building, they've also given us a Marvel modular building like the Daily Bugle, the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Avengers Tower, and the X-Mansion. Typically on this channel, we like to do deep dive analytical videos, but occasionally we do like to dream a bit. And in this video, I am going to tell you a couple of options that I would love to see as a potential second modular building in 2025. And then I'll also tell you what I think we are actually going to get in terms of that second modular compatible building. Let's dive in. I'm going to give you two sets that I would love for LEGO to make as a licensed modular, and I'll tell you the licensed set that I think is going to actually be a modular. And by the way, I'm not disappointed in that, but I do want to acknowledge that the Ninjago City Workshops did come out this year. It is generally modular compatible, but the water dominance at the base does preclude it from just sliding right into your city. And in that way, I view it like the Ideas Botanical Gardens, one that is easily modified or relatively easily modified to fit into a modular city, but not fully modular compatible right out of the box like the Marvel modulars. So with that said, the first set that I would love to see made as a LEGO modular building is the Daily Planet. This is coming from, of course, the Superman line, and I like Superman, and I'm really excited for this movie to come out. It was filmed in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, and they actually use a building in downtown Cleveland called the Leader Building as the source for the Daily Planet in the upcoming movie. And if you take a look at some of the images of this building, I think it would be fantastic as a LEGO modular. This beautiful archway just stands out as you walk into the building. And you can imagine the Daily Planet globe stretching down from that. When you walk into the lobby, it's just beautiful. There's this ornate decorations and the flooring pattern and so much detail in there. And I can obviously understand that LEGO is going to sacrifice some of that interior detail. As we know, the Marvel modulars have an elevator system that they use. But I have to say, this would be fantastic at that first level as well as the entrance. I'd also be curious to see how LEGO actually takes the sides of the building and works that into a modular. For instance, you have the awnings. That would be, I think, a really interesting way to incorporate some profile into the building. And the Leader Building is a corner, which would be a great way to replace the Sanctum Sanctorum, which has officially retired as a LEGO set. And having that additional LEGO licensed corner building would help set some of the street. Otherwise, at this point, we have a lot of different straight buildings in addition to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I also like this option because it is an older style architecture. It's kind of like the Sanctum Sanctorum, and I think that the tan of the building would contrast nicely with some of the other Marvel modulars that we've had. It is, of course, a more common color we've seen in official LEGO modulars, like we had with the Grand Emporium and the police station, but I think it would work well with the other Marvel modulars, even though this is a DC line. Also, I think you could have very flexible heights on this. You could go with a 3-story building similar to the Sanctum Sanctorum. You could go a little bit taller, a 4-story building with shorter floors, like the Daily Bugle. That would kind of be in between the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Bugle to give you a little bit of variation in the heights. And I think that there's a lot that you could do with that. Besides the fact, of course, we haven't received a lot of Superman LEGO sets in recent years. We did get a mech in 2025 earlier this year, so it is certainly doable from that sense. But of course, the question is, will LEGO actually do this? And I would certainly say at this point, not in 2025. The movie is coming out July 11th. And we're only a couple weeks away from that. I've heard no rumors whatsoever that LEGO's doing anything for the Superman movie. Maybe they're waiting to see how well it does at the box office. I don't know. Or maybe they just don't really want to touch it. Whatever the reason, I think it's a missed opportunity, but I don't think we're going to see that in 2025, unfortunately. The second one that I think would be fantastic to see as a LEGO licensed modular would be back to the Marvel line, and that is the Baxter Building. This is, of course, from the Fantastic Four, and there are a couple different iterations of the building throughout the comic series, but the original one is this skyscraper in New York, and it comprises the top 5 floors, and it's a great hideout for the Fantastic Four. And I think this has a lot of potential. You could certainly do something where you have a 5-story modular style building that focuses on all of the different aspects of the Baxter Building in the comics and the movies. You can certainly tweak the exterior to fit it in however you would like. I think there's some ambiguity with what the exterior would look like. You could make it a modern steel building. You could give it a little bit of an older look from the 1960s, which is when it first appeared in the Fantastic Four comics. And I'm curious to see what they could do with this. I think like I said, there's a lot of options that they could do when they put this out there. And it wouldn't necessarily be something that has to look exactly like all of the other Marvel modular buildings. I think you can go that route to replace the Daily Bugle, something that's grayer or metallic looking with lots of windows, but you could also go something a little bit different in terms of the architecture, maybe something in the like 1960s era or 1940s, which is when the building I think was originally said to have been designed when it was introduced in the Fantastic Four comics. So I think there are some options to incorporate with the Baxter Building. I think it's an iconic location for a lot of fans of the Marvel series and the Marvel Metaverse, and I would love to get that in Lego form. Like we asked with the Leader Building or the Daily Planet, would this actually be made? And I think at this point for 2025, the answer is no. I don't, again, hear any rumors of this set coming out. Interestingly enough, I haven't heard any rumors of a Marvel modular at all coming out in 2025, which leads me to, well, the one that I think is actually going to be made. There are, of course, lots of rumors about Lego sets at all times, including the second half of 2025. Of course, rumors for the second half include sets like Hogsmeade and Icon's 18+ style set, the $1,000 Death Star, the USS Enterprise, Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Pearl. But one that has stood out to me as a potential second modular building is the Arkham Asylum, of course, from the Batman line. Now, what's interesting about this, Lego has released Arkham Asylums in the past. We had one from way back in the day that was, I don't think, very good, very dark, and a little bit, definitely a playset, so I'm not criticizing it for that, but just in terms of a potential modular. But the two next versions in 2013 and 2017 were a step up from that in terms of design. Out of the two of those, my favorite is the 2013 version, which definitely had a lot of interesting building techniques for its time, and even though it was very thin as a building, it did give you the sense that they were really upping the details and the architectural design of that set to make it almost modular-esque from one perspective. The 2017 version, I don't think is as polished, and of course it has some rock features in it, which precludes it from being in a modular city, at least as we would envision it. But this one has some interesting information floating out about it, and that is it's going to be about 3,000 pieces, which definitely would fit into a modular style building with plenty of exterior and interior details. And it is said to be built on a base plate. So that is, of course, one of the first steps in making anything modular compatible, because a lot of Lego sets nowadays are predominantly built on regular plates as opposed to base plates. Now, the other interesting rumor about this is that it is, at this point, rumored to be an inverted corner. Now, we have never seen an official Lego modular building designed as an inverted corner, but I would love to see the DC/Marvel universe go in to the inverted corner business, just because it would be fresh, it'd be different, and a lot of fans have been asking for that style of modular building. So if that is the case, I would be super excited to see that, because it opens up a whole lot of possibilities. Again, the Ninjago City Workshops is technically an inverted corner, but again, I don't view that as fully modular compatible right outside the box. Now, this one also has, I think, a lot of potential, because if you look at the images from, say, the Nolan-verse, right, the Batman Begins movie, Arkham Asylum, it is actually a really cool building and would fit into that inverted corner option. It's got some nice colorations. It's not going to be like a dark play or a black building, which I don't think would look all that good in a modular city. It's going to be more of a dark tan building with possibly a sand green roof. That's definitely something that would mesh well with the Sanctum Sanctorum, which again, just retired at the end of 2024. So this could be that replacement, and instead of giving us a regular corner, an inverted corner. Other details of this set include the list of minifigs that I've seen, and of course, you're getting a lot of them, but it's going to be your typical Batman characters. And I think that they're doing this, if this is indeed a modular style building, as a way to bring in some of the modular fans and give you the key characters in the Batman lineup in the story. But, we'll see what that turns out to be like, or if this is even going to be an actual modular style building. We will find out soon, though, because the rumors are saying that this is going to come out in September, in the first half of September, not September 1st. So like a September 9th or something like that released, and that means we could find out about this set in about a month in terms of the official announcement from LEGO. Now, am I disappointed by not getting the two that I mentioned earlier? No. I think if we get a second LEGO modular building in the form of the Arkham Asylum or the Daily Planet or the Baxter Building or something else, I would be happy with that, provided that it's well executed. I will note that last year's Marvel modular, the X-Mansion, I thought was very, very expensive for what you got, and definitely has to be packaged the right way within a modular city, but it still works, and I'm grateful that we were able to pick that one up. I am, though, excited about this particular rumor because I think it could really work well with a modular city in terms of the size, the scale, and create some new options for LEGO modular fans. Are you excited for this rumor? Are you interested in seeing something else as a licensed LEGO modular? Put that stuff down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.